One of the things that is very special in a good way about this year's RBC Heritage is the fact that Bryson Nimmer, a local product, local boy, makes good. Went to Hilton Head Christian Academy when the Eagles were still on the island. Of course, grew up in Bluffton. His family very well known in the Bluffton area and throughout the Lowcountry, and then went on to Clemson, where he was an All-American. He's already been a pro. He's already played in other events, but not in anything like this, and certainly not in his own hometown, in basically his own backyard. Bryson Nimmer will be one of the interesting things to watch at this year's Heritage.
I think I've been here so much, and whether it be working the range or caddying last year or whatever it is, just you get more and more comfortable the more times you're out here and you see a place. And I think that's kind of why I'm not so nervous. I mean, I think there's still that, and come Thursday I'm still gonna have some nerves, but it's just like any other day. I'm from the area, and Hilton Head's pretty comfortable to me, so I'm happy to be here, and I think it'll go well. It's still just golf, and I've played this place a bunch, and the golf course isn't going to change that much. It's obviously in a little different shape than it is some of the other times a year that I've played it, but it's still just golf, and you still just have to go out there and do what you're supposed to do and execute. And I think just getting comfortable and doing what I know how to do is all I really need to do this week. I've obviously had some interactions with a lot of the Clemson guys, just that connection. Been around Lucas a lot, Jay Bird, Ben Martin, all those guys. But I've gotten to know and meet a lot of the other guys out here, and that's really cool and special. And you see these guys on TV, and they're guys you look up to and stuff, but then you meet them in person, and it's cool to have that interaction with them. I mean, guys like, Pat and Kazire, saw Matt Kuchar out on the putting green today. A lot of guys I followed around growing up, but it's just really, really cool to see them in a different light and see them just as normal people and just up close right next to them. So, I mean, there's really awesome guys out here on this tour, and I think people should know how great some of these guys really are. My dad being a golfer and everything, and, kind of teaching me growing up, he obviously wants me to play the best that I possibly can, and a lot of time, he wants to do anything he can to help me. And he's really learned, I think, over the last few years to kind of let go a little bit and let me do my thing. And that's been awesome, and I can't thank him enough for that. And it's funny, I mean, in college, there was a lot of times that you'd see him over in the trees, like thinking that it was going to affect me or something if I saw him. And it's just really funny to see the two of them. I love having them out there, and they 100% get more nervous than I do on the golf course, and it's actually really funny to see. It's pretty black and white. I mean, she's right there. She wants me to see her all the time. She wants me to know that she's there and supporting me, and it's a good little mix between the two of them. My mom's definitely a lot calmer and level-headed, so she's the one that, I'm not too worried to see her over in the crowd because she's not going to show a ton of emotions.
Cary Corbitt is a very, very familiar face here at Harbor Town. In fact, I did not know this. You actually, before you were a familiar face at Harbor Town, were here for the very first RBC Heritage in
1969.
69,
yes.
yeah.
And,
tell me a story about being a kid down here doing that.
I was playing high school golf, and I think I was a sophomore in high school, and Charles Frazier asked our golf coach, and I think other golf coaches around South Carolina, if they had any players that wanted to participate, and my brother and I certainly jumped at the opportunity, and my dad brought us here, and we stayed at what was called Frazier Camp, and which is right behind the Presbyterian Church on the island now.
Yeah.
And I was a marshal on hole number 3. My brother got a caddy job for a gentleman named Ross Kuhn.
Okay.
He played well, but he didn't make the cut.
Okay.
And we didn't have a lot of spectators, but we had some, so I had a sign and had a little bit of rope out there, and so we did what we were asked to do, and it was a great experience, and I just knew at that time I wanted to come to Hilton Head, and always wanted to be in the golf business when I got out of college. And
standing on the 18th tee 50-some years later, I mean, what's that feel like, the change and yet not change in 53 years?
Well, we are in such a great phase of Sea Pines Resort right now, and from the Frazier family and all through different changes of ownership has always been quite an inspiration just to be part of it, but now just to see what we're able to achieve and the backing that our ownership of Riverstone's been able to provide, we are just in such a great position, and it's just fun to be part of this and have been part of it. And when I walk away, it will be in great hands.
Yeah, but you're not walking away. You're going to be here next year. They may not let you wear the plaid jacket, but you're going to still keep coming.
I hope I'll still wear the plaid jacket. But we live here in Sea Pines, have
Sure.
for many, many years, and don't plan to go anywhere. Play a little bit more golf, relax, and I don't know. I'll still be involved.
Okay,
you
told a story about the first year. Special memory throughout all of this. A moment that you said, boy, I was there. That was cool. I'll always remember that.
Well, I remember the time that Johnny Miller banked one off of the tree on 7 and went in the hole. Also remember a time when, who was it that bounced one off one of the railroad telephone poles on the 17th bunker backwards and got the ball on the green. And so there's just been some pretty inspirational shots over the years that
Any of you tried to recreate? Have you? I mean, you play out here a lot. Have you gone in there and tried to do it?
You get yourself in positions where you have to try some different shots. So I think we've all experienced some of those that we're sometimes not as proud of, but it's always fun being out here.
That's the beauty of Jack and Pete in Harbortown. Cary, thank you so much for all you've done over the many, many years and for spending a few minutes with us. Take care.
Thank you, and thank you very much.
All right, it's going to be a terrific week. Cary Corbitt just told you so. We'll be back with more in a moment.